Hey guys, and welcome back. We are on the road again, and today we are back out investigating some of Auckland's best and worst rated spots around the city. As you know, I absolutely love Auckland. So, with that in mind, I was kind of inspired. I've been watching a lot of Spanian recently. He's an Australian YouTuber. If you don't watch him, he does a lot of travel vlogs. So, Australia has a bit more of a kebab culture than New Zealand, I've got to admit. You do get pockets of it around the city, and certainly there's concentrations of it in the city centre, and you can get really good kebabs in Auckland, but they are few and far between. Today we are going to be looking at the worst rated kebab shop in Auckland, and that's what's taking me today all the way to South Auckland, outside of Manukau Super City Centre, where I am outside of a place called the Kebab Hut. That's right. The Kebab Hut received 2 stars on the Google reviews maps. Now, I went through every single one in the list in Auckland, and there were some in the mid 2s, the 2.3s, but there was no restaurant that scored a 2-star with 50 or more reviews other than the Kebab Hut. So I'm going to be heading inside in a moment there to grab a kebab. I've just got to say, guys, the purpose of this series is not to shit on restaurants at all. The purpose of the series is to hopefully shine a better light on some restaurants that have been rated poorly, and I do hope that the restaurant performs today. But until then, unfortunately, it is the worst rated in Auckland. And so, guys, nothing left to do except head in there, order a kebab, come back and see how it tastes. Hey, can I get a mixed kebab? I'll just take all the salad and I'll have the tartare, please, and sweet chili. Okay guys, let's have a quick look at some of these reviews as we wait for our food to be ready. 2 weeks ago from Promoth Manon, 1 star, absolutely rubbish food. Salads are old and chicken was dry as a rock. I can't even give 1 star for this rubbish place. Do yourself a favor by not even looking at this food outlet. Rubbish. I wish I could give it a 0 star. Let's have another quick look at a 1 star. Nijar. This place seriously needs to improve. Such a good location, can easily be the center of an eye if only they did customer service and improved quality food. Lamb meat was cold and dry and seemed to be cooked a day ago. That is definitely a common theme that I saw throughout all of these reviews, was dry. Let's have a look at a slightly more positive review now. So Dan M, which was a year ago as well, this was a 4 out of 5 star review. I was quite hesitant to order here after reading some of the reviews, but tried it anyway. Glad I did, as the lamb kebab was pretty good, and for $14 it was awesome value for money. The staff who served me was also very friendly and had great customer service. It's gone up a little bit. I think it's my kebab today cost $16.50, so that review was a year ago. It's up about $2.50, which is pretty standard, but Dan M did enjoy his kebab, so we are going to be finding out what ours tastes like very soon. Alright guys, we are back with the goods from Kebab Hut. It's looking a little greasy on the top of the bag. It is absolutely roasting. This thing is so hot to touch. She didn't give me a bag or anything. It was pretty funny though. I walked in to pick up my kebab and she looked at me and I was like, mixed kebab? And she goes, what sauce do you want with that? And then I go, I literally just ordered about 5 minutes ago, and she goes, "Oh, so sorry." She started laughing, and it was all good. It wasn't awkward, but it was kind of like, "You don't remember me? I was literally here like 5 minutes ago." No dramas. We've got our kebab. I also just snuck off and got myself a tank. If you don't know what Tank is, it is a legendary franchise here in New Zealand. It may be elsewhere. I'm not entirely sure, but this thing is so good. They do fresh berry juices, they do smoothies, they do salads. It is such a good chain, and we will definitely be going here at some point. But guys, there is nothing left to do except to get the tray out of the oven and have a look, shall we? Okay guys, let us take a look at this absolute feast of a kebab. It is so hot. I think the thing was sitting on the grill for God knows how long. She was obviously doing it to keep it hot, but it is definitely very, very hot. It feels pretty hefty, to be honest, and it looks like it's been packed pretty full. I went with everything in here, so that's including all the trimmings, all the lettuce, all the salad, and we went with tartar sauce, and I think I went with chili sauce as well. Comment below what you have with your kebab. I kind of mix it up every time. I'm not super loyal to any kind of sauce in particular, but let me know what you guys like. And then of course I've got my tank juice. This one was actually an all berry juice, so in there I think it's just a bit of everything, a bit of strawberry, a bit of blueberry. Alrighty guys, we are ready to get stuck into this. Just before we get started, I am going to sanitize my hands because there was a bit of cash handling, and as we know, it wasn't looking too hygienic. So we're going to cleanse before we eat, as we should. Now, I wonder what the best way to tackle this is. I probably will rewrap this up and just unravel the tin foil so I don't get a huge amount of sauce all over me. I don't want it spilling everywhere in my car. It's not cut in half. Kebabs normally aren't cut in half, so I'm not going to judge that at all. It looks very saucy. It looks very oily. The pita looks good. So, guys, here we go. Bite number one. And as soon as I say that, guys, I've had a little bit fallen down in front. Not a complete disaster, but not ideal either. We will have to clean up a bit more than we would normally do. All right, I'm going to go with the napkin, because this is too risky. Guys, this thing is packed full of meat. There's no shortage of meat in this. So this is a mixed kebab. There's chicken in there, and there's some lamb as well. It tastes like it has been on one of those turning kofta things. I can't remember exactly what they're called. If anyone can let me know what those spinning things with the heat element that cooks it slowly is called, I would love to know. There were two of them in the store. So this does taste like that kind of kebab. And you would expect that, of course, but you never know with some of these places. I have resigned myself to getting a little bit more messy than I normally would. So I'll have to change when I get home. Luckily, I'm not going anywhere else after I finish this. So a lot of the comments online were about the dry meat. And so I've just tried a couple of little pieces of the meat on its own, and it is a little bit dry. Having said that, though, there's plenty of sauce on this thing that is saucing it up.
Oh, yeah.
Making it more enjoyable for sure. I went with the tartar, and the chili sauce is really, really, really good. It's providing a nice amount of heat, but it's not too overpowering. There's a good amount of slaw in here as well, and there's jalapenos. Because of the heat of this thing, I'm not really concerned at all about any hygiene problems or me getting ill from eating this. I'm pretty sure it's safe to eat. It is crazy hot, not just with the temperature of this thing, but also the chili sauce. Cheers, everyone. Oh, I'm so glad I went with a tank to boost my immune system should anything go wrong. So the chicken itself, on its own, doesn't taste particularly fresh. It's been diced and chopped up quite finely, along with the mince, or with the lamb. And there isn't a huge amount of seasoning that you would expect from a really good kebab spot. Normally you can tell what the meat's been marinated in. You can't really with this, partially because the sauces are quite strong. But there are certainly no shortage of meat in this thing. This thing is going to fill you up for sure. The bread, the pita itself, is quite thin. It's not holding up perfectly with the heat of this thing. But having said that, it doesn't feel like it's cheap quality. Feels like it's a legitimate kebab wrap. Now it's at the end, starting to get very saucy. Last bite, everyone. All right, guys, so we have finished up our kebab. I've given myself a bit of a clean down. I've given the car a little bit of a clean down, and we are feeling much fresher. Let's talk a little bit about the kebab. So, look, the experience from a customer's perspective was okay. It was nothing fantastic. She was okay. I think she was a little bit grumpy because as I was arriving, there was already 4 people ahead of me when I placed my order, and she seemed kind of annoyed to see another customer, which I thought was kind of weird. And then she didn't remember me 10 minutes later. That's not a big deal though, because she laughed about it. She seemed like a nice person. So let's talk about the most important thing today, which is the kebab. Was the kebab from Auckland's very worst kebab shop as rated on Google Maps? Put it this way, guys, it was a lot better than what was expected. It was certainly nothing shortchanging about it. There was a lot of meat. There was a lot of substance inside of the kebab. The kebab cost $16.50, and I'm pretty full from it. Now, the meat itself wasn't tasting particularly fresh. It felt like, or it tasted like it had been maybe cooked a couple of days ago, being reheated a couple of times. A lot of this fat out of it had been rendered out of it. It was quite dry. And then there was a lot of sauce to compensate for that. But I think I did a good job with my sauces I chose today. The tartare, which is not something I normally would see on a kebab sauce list, was on the sauce list, and the chili sauce, which I do normally go with, was really, really nice. In fact, that was the most enjoyable flavor element of the kebab. The salad actually was pretty crispy. It didn't taste soggy. It actually held up pretty well, especially given how hot that thing was. There was some jalapenos in there. And yeah, so look, guys, overall, I am pleasantly surprised by Kebab Hut. And I certainly don't think it deserves some of the 1-star reviews that we had a look at. It feels as though the quality is better. The experience is certainly better than 1 star. So guys, with that in mind, I am going to be giving Kebab Hut a smash it today. It was pleasantly okay. I don't think I would go out of my way to get that, but if I was driving past and I was super hungry, I would probably stop in and grab a kebab. If you did enjoy today's video, we'd really appreciate a subscribe on the channel, and let me know where you would like to see in Auckland next, and we will be heading there very shortly. But before that, we've got to head over to the best rated kebab shop in Auckland, so I will catch you over there for the next one. See you then.